Hi, I'm Scott. I'm your host for the Smeg Foodie Guide to the UK. Smeg is an Italian brand that is celebrating some of the brilliance we have around the UK in our regional foods. We've been to Cornwall, we've been to Devon, we've been to Somerset. This week we're going to London. Yes, we're going to the Big Smoke. Claire and Alice, I'm getting them out of the kitchen again because they are the food economists here at Smeg. We don't have to go too far today, but I tell you what, it is going to be incredible. Don't go anywhere, you'll enjoy this one. Well, I can't believe the last episode is here already. We are in London and today's episode is all about the Chelsea Bun. We're meeting Sophie, she's an award winner. We're hoping to get her secret as well. We're going to see the Pleesecakes boys. I tell you what, you do not want to miss what they do with a Chelsea Bun. But Al, what is a Chelsea Bun all about?
So a Chelsea Bun is an 18th century sweet treat. It's a yeast dough and it's got sultanas, it's got spices, it's absolutely delicious. And we're actually going to give it a go ourselves today, Scott. So fingers crossed we can rival the competition winner and make some for ourselves.
We are, London's very noisy, so we're going to find something quieter to talk to Sophie.
Let's go.
Sophie.
Hi.
How are you? Nice to meet you. I'm Scott.
Hi, great to
Alice.
meet you, Alice.
So we've met you at, obviously, Partridge's. It is where you won the Chelsea Bun competition.
Yes, I was one of the winners this year.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Well done. Now this is a bit of a tough question, but what do you think made your bun award winning?
Well, it's hard to tell, really. I think probably it was quite a lot of spices in it. It was quite pillowy and light and with a nice sticky glaze on top.
Oh, lovely.
I did test it out with my neighbours and friends and they gave it the green light. So I think whatever it was, they liked it.
I bet
It's
they were very
wonderful. And as well,
appreciative.
because this isn't what you do for a living. You've got a PhD. You actually work in heart disease as well, don't you?
I do indeed. Cooking is my creative outlet.
And why do they call you Dr. Fish?
They call me Dr. Fish because I've got a PhD in marine biology.
Wow.
Sophie does it all.
So cooking really is a de-stress for you.
It is.
So we've got a little something up our sleeve for later that we are going to need your help with, and Scott's going to go into that in a second, but I would like to know your absolute top tips for making an award-winning Chelsea Bun, because we are in fact going to give it a go ourselves, so we want all the help we can get. So what are your top tips?
My top tips are, first of all, you weigh your ingredients, use fresh yeast, and when you're cutting it, when you've got your long sausage, cut it in the middle again. You don't have to get a tape measure out. And then when you place it in the tin, you need to just flatten it down a bit so all the buns are about the same height.
Good to know for later.
Right, so those are award-winning buns, right?
They are award-winning buns.
Could I ask you to do us a massive favour? Right, we're going to go back to the Smeg store now in London and we're going to cook those buns. And we've also got a little special treat as well. We've got Joe coming along. I'm not going to tell you where he's from at the moment, but he is going to pimp your buns, okay? So if you don't mind, you go for a cup of tea now, give us a couple of hours, because we're going back to the store and then you can come and judge them for yourself.
Fantastic.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Sophie.
See you later. Thank you.
See you later.
Nice to see you. Do you know what? I'm a doctor too, mate. Yeah, I'm a doctor too. Right, we're in the store. Now we've got Sophie's recipe here, haven't we?
We have indeed. This is her award-winning Chelsea Bun recipe and we're very excited about this.
We are.
So, Scott, I'm going to get you involved. We're going to make our very own Chelsea Buns. And we're going to start by putting the strong white bread flour into the mixer, please.
Okay.
So that's 500 grams in there. And as with pretty much all of the recipes that we've done so far, it's putting in the butter with the flour and getting a nice kind of breadcrumb mix. Okay, that's looking
Looks
about
good.
right to me, Scott. So let's get cracking with the rest of the ingredients. So here we've got our little ramekin of mixed spice, we've got cinnamon, and we've got a bit of salt as well. So with salt, we want to put it over one side of the bowl. We're also going to add in some yeast. And if the yeast touches the salt, it actually kind of kills it. So to make sure it stays activated, keep them separate. It's fine once it's mixed, but for this period, definitely keep them apart. We're then going in with the soft brown sugar. Then we've got orange zest as well. So that's the zest of 2 oranges. So it gives it a really nice
that is amazing. It does smell beautiful, doesn't it?
It really does. Combine it all together, and then we're going to add our wet ingredients in and turn it into a dough.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay, so our final step now is to add our liquid. So we're going to change the beater for a dough hook and turn this into a dough. Scott's an expert at this part, so I'll get him to do it.
I thought you were calling me then, the beater.
So I'm going to start by just whisking an egg together, making sure it's nice and combined. And then I'm going to add it to some warmed whole milk. And the warm milk activates that yeast and allows it to rise.
Ah, right, okay. Oh, that's nice. It is almost like a Christmassy thing, isn't it? But it's lovely.
It really is.
So straight in the middle.
Yep. And then you turn the mixer on and it will put it all together into a lovely soft dough.
Slow to start till it brings it all together.
Exactly.
So, and is this going to be a wet mix?
It's going to be reasonably, it will still kind of fall together,
Okay.
but it will be slightly sticky to touch. And if it's too sticky, you can add a little bit more flour. It won't be a problem.
Not as sticky as the bath bun, though.
Nowhere near as sticky
Okay.
as the bath bun, definitely. Great, so our dough has finished kneading. That's taken anywhere from about 5 to 10 minutes. If you're kneading by hand, it will take a little bit longer. But because we've done it in the stand mixer, it's nice and springy. It's combined all of that flour and it looks beautiful. And by kneading, we're developing that gluten to give us an amazing rise later too when we put it into proof. So,
are we going to put this in the proving oven now?
we are, yeah.
Okay.
So I'm going to pop it in the oven, put it on the proving function, which is about 40 degrees. And if you don't have that at home, you can put it next to a radiator, you can put it in a warm place, like an airing cupboard, and leave it for 1 to 2 hours until it's doubled in size. Okay, so we're going to make the delicious filling with these Chelsea buns now, which is like
Lovely.
spicy and lovely and buttery. So we're going to start with 100 grams of soft unsalted butter.
Okay.
Put that straight into the bowl. And then we've got some dark brown sugar. We've got soft brown sugar as well.
Lovely.
And some more cinnamon. So in that goes. And then we're going to mix that until it's a really lovely creamy paste, because we're going to spread that all over the cinnamon buns. Go for it. I'll get Scott to do the messy jobs for me. Okay, so the dough has been proving for about an hour and a half now, and it's pretty much doubled in size. So we're going to get this out of the oven, and it shouldn't actually be hot to touch because it's only 40 degrees. If it is hot to touch, it'll probably be way too hot for the dough.
So that's okay.
So out we come, and then...
Oh, wow.
Look at that. So it should be beautiful, light and airy, and it should spring back when you press it.
Lovely.
I know. So I've got to kind of actually just pull it out and take out a lot of that air. But I'm going to pop that straight onto the work surface.
So why do you work so hard for an hour and a half to prove it, to get the air into it, just to slap it down there and, get rid of all the air?
It gives it that lightness. So if you weren't to prove, your dough would actually be really kind of tough.
Like a bread, really.
Exactly.
Like a thick roll.
Well, it'd be really solid. It would be really dense. It wouldn't be very nice to eat if you didn't proof your dough. So, would you mind grabbing the rolling pin?
Yes.
And feel free to give it a go. Roll it
Or
out
me.
into
Are we going to flour it a bit?
the best rectangle you can. Here we go. Right.
So we're going to try to make a rectangle.
Yeah.
And then we're going to cut it into circles.
So we're actually going to then spread the filling all over this rectangle.
Are we?
Roll it up into a sausage shape.
Right, okay.
Yeah, and that's how you get kind of the nicest rounds with all of those lovely swirls inside.
It's very stretchy, isn't it?
It is very stretchy, and you can go the other way as well to make it a little bit wider.
If only I had a bit of weight to add to it.
If only.
If only. How big are we looking?
I think that looks great.
It does look good. So it's the size of the biggest fish platter you've ever seen. So if you're thinking, if you think of Jaws on a fish platter, that is probably where we are at the moment. That's going to be a big old bun, isn't it?
That looks great. So now we've got our base, we're going to pop on the filling. Now again, another top tip from Sophie is that we shouldn't go right to the edges. I suppose a lot of wastage on it would probably leak out the side.
Yeah.
So I'm going to just spoon on this lovely cinnamony buttery filling. I'm going to evenly distribute that over the entire base of this dough. Okay, so spreading that out nice and easily. And I'm going to spread, and Scott, I'm going to give you the best job, which is...
Eating.
I mean, to be fair, you're doing that as well.
Yeah.
But sprinkling the fruit.
Oh, yeah.
I know
So-
you love raisins.
Is this all of them?
Yes, please.
And
So
evenly through?
evenly through, so we want really an even distribution for each bun.
1, 2,
We're going to be here all day.
3. Yeah, I think we are.
Okay, so I'm almost there, and again, just leaving those edges nice and clear, ready for rolling. Great. Okay, so a lovely distribution of raisins there. And then we've also got the mixed peel. So this recipe is full of fruit, full of flavour, and very sweet as well.
Oh my God, that's sticky.
Yeah, it is sticky. You'll be needing to wash your hands after this one.
That's one way you're doing it.
I'm going to go for a roll, so hopefully we can get it all kind of together like that.
Ah, right, of course. So that's
Roll.
where. Yeah, okay.
So that's how we get those lovely kind of layers of the Chelsea bun, and just roll it all up like that into one long sausage shape.
I'm not sure why we got a bit more in that end than we have got in this end. Do we want to just cut the ends off?
I think so. Yep, cut off the ends.
Okay.
Great. So for Sophie's recipe, this is for 12 buns. So
Okay.
be my guest if you can chop
So-
an even 12.
So 12 buns,
12 buns.
11 cuts.
I suppose so, yeah.
There could be a scientific reason why we're doing this, but one or two may be bigger than others, but I don't know.
So now we're just lining all of these up on a baking tray, making sure they're evenly spaced apart.
You say that we should keep them about a centimetre apart because traditionally they're square, aren't they?
Yeah, so when we bake them, they're gonna all
Squish together.
squash together, and then you pull them apart so they're lovely and soft. And another of her top tips was when we put them onto the tray to then squash them down to make sure they're all level and hopefully as evenly sized as possible. We're going to actually prove these one more time and make sure that dough is lovely and bouncy. So I'm going to pop a tea towel over the top and put them back into the oven to prove.
Right, so we're going to prove them, and then we're going to cook them. How long and at what temperature?
So we're going to put these into prove now for about half an hour, and then once we've pulled them out, putting them back in the oven and cooking them at 180 degrees for 20 minutes. Then we pull them out, twist them around, and another 10 at the end.
Okay, so when you do that, I'm going to cross my fingers. I'm going to go upstairs and phone Joe and see if he can come and do something magnificent with these buns.
I know Joe.
Do you know
I like
Joe?
what Joe does.
Right.
He's with Pleesecakes, isn't he?
He's at Pleesecakes, and he's going to turn these beauties into a Pleesecake special.
I'm excited already.
Right, so we're going to make the filling now. That is going to be basically the glue in between the Chelsea buns and also the mask around the cake, or whatever we're calling it. So we've got just basic ingredients, very simple. We've got mascarpone cheese, we've got cream cheese, 500 grams of each. We've got about 180 grams of caster sugar. We've got some cinnamon, allspice, and some vanilla essence, and that is it. That's it.
Great.
Very simple, yeah?
So what's first?
So cream cheese in a bowl.
Yeah.
Mascarpone going in.
Wow, so really creamy. And I remember you saying a tip about the type of cream cheese to use.
The cheese that we use is firm, so it's a 28% fat cream cheese. So we need like a strong foundation.
You need stability.
We've got a loose mix, it's going to collapse kind of thing.
So we've got a firm cream cheese in the bowl, a firm mascarpone, and we're going in with some caster sugar.
And we're just going to, all we're going to do is give this a mix together first.
So in this bowl, we've got all of the ingredients, and Joe's just combining these to make a really nice, smooth, glossy cream cheese mixture. It looks amazing.
Right, so texture-wise, thick cream cheese.
Simple. We're aiming for thick cream cheese. I might just try a little bit.
Like cream cheese.
A bit like cream cheese. There's not much in it, you know what I mean? So we're not adding too much. Essentially, you're loosening it up a little bit so it's pliable to go around the cake, but essentially it's still just cream cheese.
So you're mixing them up, making sure the sugar, you want the sugar granules to almost disappear?
Yeah, so you're creaming the sugar obviously with the cream cheese.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to add a pinch of cinnamon.
So we're going with some Chelsea Bun flavours.
A little bit of allspice.
Yeah, some more lovely
So,
spices.
Same, about
yeah.
a pinch. But you can adjust these measurements to your taste, and a bit of vanilla essence.
Now that goes a long way, the vanilla essence.
I would say about 10-15 ml.
So all that's going in, and you're just going to combine it together.
And mix it up again. Final
Great.
mix.
Let's go.
So that's perfect now because we're not cooking it. That's almost done now. It's just about shaping then.
That's it. Yeah, into a piping bag, pipe it on, build up the cake, then into like a freezer to freeze down before decorate.
I like it when you can cook and chuck stuff in, and so it's to your personal taste.
Have a taste and have more if you want to.
Oh,
That's
okay.
it, yeah.
Well, have a taste now, we said.
Yeah, taste now, yeah.
You jumped at that opportunity.
I think the baking side of things, when we do our bake products,
Yeah.
you have to be a bit more accurate.
Oh, I've got to
With a
say,
no bake, you can just kind of add it and just sort of like do it by eye and taste.
that tastes amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing.
So the buns have been cooking in the oven, and we have turned off the oven to let them cool down. So we've got them here, and they should be. That is cool to touch now. So here they are. They smell amazing.
Wow.
They look even better.
Look, that's an Alice bun, and that's a Scott bun. Look at the size of that.
Little and large.
The size of those bad boys. They're huge.
We're aiming for about, by the looks of things, a foot high. So
Yeah,
we've got
about a foot.
all of these buns stacked on top of each other as evenly as they possibly can be. And I think we're pretty much ready to ice.
It's quite a thick mix. So what we're going to do, we're going to put a little bit on the, there's loads in there. A little bit on the board first to act as a bit of glue for the buns. And then we're going to go on first. So I put on probably, a teaspoon of cheesecake mix?
Yeah.
In the centre of the board. I'm just going to push that bun down first.
And that's basically just to hold it in place.
Just hold it in place, otherwise it's going to slide off the board. Yeah?
Well, now, do you know what you've done?
Go on.
Right? But maybe subconsciously we did it, but you've made all the buns slightly different sizes, which you probably wouldn't get. Only so we could build a tower with it.
Exactly.
So one's a little bit smaller. As you go up, then it's perfect balance. So
It's all intentional, Scott.
of course it was.
It's all
Of course
part of
it
the
was.
plan. And the beauty of this is they don't need to necessarily look that perfect.
No.
Because they're all being covered anyway.
Well, can I just say?
Go on.
What a bit of luck.
What? Look, Scott, come on, it's
What a bit
intentional.
of luck that was then. Perfect. When you're working, do you find it therapeutic still? Because you've done it now for, was it 5 or 6 years you've been making the cheesecakes. Do you still find it therapeutic?
Oh yeah, I love being creative with food. You know, I think that's my happy place essentially. But the way we produce it is high volume. So
Yeah.
we're doing like 1,000 or 2,000 mini cheesecakes. So it can get repetitive sometimes.
Yeah.
But I still love what I do. And it's all that's our sort of like ethos of the company is quality and passion, and producing awesome products.
Yeah, and a bit of fun as well.
Yeah.
Do you still eat cheesecake? Or
I do, yeah.
you aren't sick of them yet?
No, what I eat at the moment is the freeze cakes. We've got these little mini freeze cake tubs.
Oh,
We've
yeah,
got the
I've
big
seen
ones, the small
those.
ones, and they're awesome, obviously, because it's been really hot recently.
Yeah.
Little 4-ounce pot of cheesecake in a
Perfect.
tub, frozen.
And you sell those online as well, don't you?
Online, yeah, and we sell them in various places, so like Slim Chickens, where else? Oh, like GBK, Giraffe, Ed's Diner, all those sort of places. So
Oh,
Cool.
brilliant. So you really stuck your neck out, didn't it, to put in a giraffe?
I don't know if that's good or bad. Final one. Do you want to put
Right.
it on?
Yeah?
Do you want to put it on?
Go on
Oh.
now. Do you want me to pick you up?
To reach the top. Right, you're going to check that's nice and level. Okay, what do we think?
That looks amazing, doesn't it?
Wow. It's pretty stable. Well, you've got to test these things,
Yeah.
Scott.
Alice was just poking
You
it.
got a stress test.
You know what I mean?
Stress test it.
I thought you were going to go in with the shoulder then for a minute to see how tough it was.
Give it an elbow. Make sure it's robust.
What I would do at this point is freeze this down a little bit,
Ah, okay.
so it's a little bit
Yeah.
like
bit
together
more
kind of thing.
solid,
Yeah, a bit
yeah.
more solid. Then we can mask it.
Okay, cool. Well, why don't we get it in the freezer and we can start preparing a bit of the decoration for later.
Let's do it.
You chill that out to give it a little bit more stability, haven't you?
That's the word. That's exactly the word. So now we're going to mask the cake. So we're going to cover everything up and make it look lovely and pretty. We're going to start from the bottom. Again, this spinner's come in really handy.
So at the moment, Joe's got his piping bag and he's piping this cheesecake filling all over this huge Chelsea Bun sandwich cheesecake. So he's going up layer by layer, making sure it's got a really nice thick coating, and then we're going to spread it out nice and evenly and get a nice clean finish.
It takes a lot of patience as well, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. This is probably the hardest part of the build, I'd say.
The more you spin round, the smoother it gets, but I suppose it's a gradual process, so you have to go slowly.
And you can freeze it down in between sort of scrapes.
Oh wow.
I'll tell you what, this takes a little bit of time, so you will get a cup of tea and we'll put it in the fridge. Right, Joe, we put it together, it's been in the fridge, it's had time to cool down a little bit. Is it okay now that we actually decorate it?
It is perfectly ready to decorate. We've got some lovely stuff going on top. We've got our chocolate ganache, we've got some chocolate shavings, they're called, I think, chocolate balls, some sultanas, and some lemon going on there. So,
and a surprise.
And a little surprise at the end, yeah.
Oh, I like to surprise this. Right, come on then.
Let's get out the fridge.
All right.
Oh, it does look impressive, doesn't it?
It does. It does.
Absolutely wonderful.
It looks pretty chilled as well, so perfect for putting toppings straight on.
This is where you come into your own, because
Yes.
before you started Pleesecake, you used to be a decorator.
I did, yeah. I went from decorating houses to decorating cakes.
Oh man. So when you used to go home and you were painting and decorating, you were taking paint off your fingers and underneath your nails. Now you got chocolate ganache. You don't have to wash your hands.
It's all edible now.
You'd be licking your fingers all the way home. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
So
Really
we've got
love
a
it.
completely blank canvas here. It's a lovely cream coating, really. So we can just go straight on. What's the first thing that you would say
Right, yeah.
goes
So
onto this?
it's actually like a vanilla-based cheesecake, no
Lovely.
baked cheesecake, and we've masked the Chelsea buns and made this like foot-tall sort of gatto cake. And the first thing that we're going on with is the chocolate ganache, which is half dark chocolate, half milk chocolate, and a bit of double cream.
And that is glossy and
Glossy,
runny.
yeah. You ready to go?
Yeah.
This is there's no going back now.
We're learning from the best
This
here.
is a one time. All right, so basically the way we do our cakes back at Pleesecakes is just doing it in little stages.
So you get
I am nervous. I'm a little bit nervous.
You
about
go
this
for
bit.
it. You're the expert
Ready?
here. So you're getting a spoon. And
Getting a spoon, yeah, a little tablespoon.
Yeah, and it's really, really runny.
I'm hoping because we've frozen down the cake that it kind
Yeah.
of sets the ganache. So a little spoon on first, and then I'm using sort of the back of the spoon, pushing it kind of to the edge of the cake. As it gets to the edge of the cake, turning the spoon up on its side and using the tip of the spoon just to edge off the ganache.
Oh wow! So it beautifully drips down the side.
Yeah, basically.
It's like tears, isn't it?
It is.
It's tears,
Yeah.
chocolate tears.
And hopefully freezes en route while it's making
That's
its
the
way
plan.
down. Because I mean, it's got a long way to fall. To be fair.
And this is where the spinner comes in, okay? So like we do a little spin, and then we can work on this.
You've
gotta be, you've
If
gotta
I had a
be.
spinner in front of me, I would want to just
Gotta
whack
be
it
gentle.
around.
It's
all
a real
love.
art.
It's all love here.
Yeah, so precise.
Right, so just working our way around the cake now.
Wow, and so you're doing that really delicately, just pushing a tiny bit off at a time.
That's it. And there's no set way to this, you know, like there's no specific way or how many drips you can do.
Well, because it's nice that they're going in layers, so you've got some that are really far down the base of the cake and some that are quite high to the top.
That's it.
So what should I do next?
So our kind of like sort of theory in terms of how we decorate the cakes is go for sort of like the larger things first,
Okay.
sort of create foundation and structure. So we've got the chocolate shards here.
Great.
We want to try and sort of almost put another third on top of that cake,
Okay,
really,
so
to
I'm
create
gonna-
a bit of height.
I'm just going to go in here. So
Yeah.
what I've got here is a lovely kind of flat ganache base, and then I'm sticking in some milk chocolate curls. I'm putting them in at an angle, although I am squeezing them a little bit hard trying to put them in, so some of them are snapping a bit, but
And this is
hopefully that's
so the
all right.
ganache is like the glue basically.
Yeah.
So we use the ganache to stick all our toppings down and
we're
make
getting
sure it's secure,
loads of
structurally
height.
sound.
It
It's like a little
it looks like
project.
the landscape of London now. you just put a
I
little,
like it.
put a
Like
little
the
shard in there.
yeah.
I love this. So I'm putting loads in at kind of different angles.
Yeah,
to make
kind of
them a
like
bit jaggedy.
slot them in. It's a bit like, what's that game, that kids game, pick up sticks?
Yeah.
Like just slotting them in. And the thing with the spinner, you can turn it and like look at a different angle, kind of like slot something in there.
Oh yeah.
See, I'm more buckaroo. That, you know, I'm just waiting for it to kick in my face. You know what I mean?
But they're holding really well because of that ganache, because it's so gluey and it's setting at the same time.
Joe, do you know what I love with decoration? There is no right and wrong.
No, there's literally no set way of doing this. And it's all about being creative, you know? That's what Pleesecakes is about. I encourage creativity with everything that we do. So, and it's obviously got to reflect in the products that we sell and produce. So, no set way, kind of just make it crazy. If you think there's not enough chocolate or toppings on there,
Check more on.
chuck more on. I think we need to keep going. Can we keep going with it?
Yeah.
Oh, you go more than that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is
Wow.
what I mean. Like, we're nowhere near finished.
Oh, okay. So you really pack on these
Yeah,
shards.
yeah. Look at all these gaps.
Oh, wow.
Thing, you got to make it structurally sound. So you got to like slot it in the little gaps, and then you got to spin it, and then you'll see a different gap.
Oh, there's one there. Look.
There you
Oh,
go.
wow. You think there's no more room left and you still fit more in. So that's what we're going for today with the decorations. So we are pretty much full.
Right, I do not trust myself to put any more on there.
Right, so the little bits now. So we've got raisins or sultanas.
Here we go.
A few on there.
I'm sticking some to the drips as well as they go down.
That's a good idea, actually. And what else we got? We've got some little chocolate.
Oh, yeah.
Little chocolate
I'll throw some
biscuit
of these
balls.
on.
Yeah, a bit of lemon on there. Obviously, we're doing the Chelsea Bun, so I think we need to put a bit of lemon in there to represent that. But,
Yeah, so we've got all the flavours of
and a bit
the
of colour.
Chelsea Bun, haven't
yeah,
we?
and a bit of colour, you know.
Yeah. So
Right, how are we
how's it
looking?
looking, Joe?
I think it's looking good. Have you seen? Yeah, you've really used those little crispy balls on the drips very well, I think.
Thank you.
Very well done. But I think a bit of lemon first now.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Bit of lemon.
Okay. Do you want to do
I'll do a
the...
bit of lemon. So just going to zest a little bit of lemon over top.
Oh, nice.
Bit of colour.
Yeah,
Bit of
make it a bit
flavour.
zingy. So is that an unwaxed lemon then?
I hope so.
Fingers crossed.
I hope so, yeah.
So we've got here the lovely vanilla base, we've got the drips coming down the side, amazing height from those huge chocolate shards, and then fresh sprinkling of lemon along with those little raisins
Beautiful.
and crispy bits.
And never waste the lemon, because you know what they say, when you got lemons?
I know what you're going to say, because he said this to me yesterday,
Oh,
make gin and tonic.
See,
Oh,
she's
great,
learning,
great,
she's
great
learning,
suggestion.
she's
Great
learning.
suggestion.
Thank you very much. Right, the surprise we were going to tell
surprise.
everybody. The
Well, I-
surprise.
I haven't practiced this, so
This is very opulent.
we've got like sheets,
Oh,
literal sheets of rose gold.
I have never seen rose gold sheets before.
I don't know how to do this. I haven't done this before, so I was thinking about just like wrapping,
Chucking it on.
just going like
it'll just
a
hold.
whole
will it hold?
sheet on there.
Oh yeah.
Oh, look at that.
I'm gonna go for another one as well.
Yeah.
Wow, so
go
these
down the
rose
whole
gold
sheet.
sheets, I mean, they're beautiful in colour, they're shiny, they're featherweight. I mean,
£70 each there.
Well, we go for 3 then.
and he's absolutely layering these on. So these are completely covering the base of this cheesecake here.
But
Wow.
don't they just add?
One more, eh? One for luck.
Why not?
Honestly, everybody at
decadent.
home, right? If you've got a couple of spare Chelsea buns and you've got 5 hours to spare and 150 quid worth of gold rolls, this is what you want to do, isn't it? This is exactly what you want to do. It's just, you know what I mean? It's a Sunday afternoon thing, I think. It looks
So,
amazing.
We've got these amazing sheets wrapped around, and I mean, Scott, do you want to attempt your splatter ganache idea?
Maybe just a little drizzle on top.
Well, I've got to be honest with you. Yeah,
You don't want to ruin the rose gold.
No,
do you?
no, I'm not even touching.
Now you've seen it
I'm
in
not even.
situ.
I'm not even touching the rose gold. It just seems like it just needs just a little bit of a.
It's lacking, isn't it? It's lacking chocolate.
Well, now that's brought it all together nicely just in the end. Just brings
yeah.
out the sparkle, doesn't it?
That's it. We needed that ganache.
That is stunning, Joe. Wow.
You just stuck your
Finito.
finger through the rose gold.
I've got about £3 on my finger.
The most expensive cheesecake I've ever
my
seen. Wow.
Well, right.
Time to try it?
Well, no.
No?
Joe, Pleesecake, what would you call that in store?
Oh,
Oh, good.
this is on the spot here.
It's kind of like a combination hybrid Chelsea Bun cheesecake gatto.
Sounds good.
Topped with chocolate and rose gold.
Yeah.
Wow. I like
Should we
that.
just call it the big one?
The big one.
We just call it the big
The fully one.
Simple
The
as
fully
that. You can do what you want.
I like it.
The big
I
one.
like it. We need to cut into it.
We do need to cut into it, but can I just add a little bit more pressure
Okay.
Because earlier we spoke to Sophie, and she is a well-renowned judge, and I've asked her to come back. Sophie, please come and judge this cake.
Wow,
Good to
that
see
looks
you.
amazing.
Right, shall I tell you what we've been up to this afternoon?
Yeah.
We called you this morning, and we had a good chat. We got your recipe, and we've actually made the Chelsea Buns. So we've got the little one that Alice made there, you've got the big one that I made there. But obviously, we know it's not all about size. Would you like to try a little bit of the bun yourself?
Yes, absolutely. I'm going to try a bit of your large version. They're very moist.
Lovely. They are.
Very moist. Let's have a smell. Yep, I can smell all the warm spices coming through, and you can see the colour of the dough is more brown because of the brown sugar and all the spicing in it. So let's have a taste. Very nice.
Are you happy?
I say so myself.
Are you happy? Well, it's your recipe, so I'm glad you like it. So there we are, everybody. That's Sally's recipe. Absolutely brilliant. Size does not matter, but always go for the big one. That's what we've just learned there from the top judge herself. Right, we're going on now. We're moving on now. We have decided. Have you ever seen Pimp My Ride? Where
Yes.
we pimped your buns, right?
Yes.
We've actually pimped your buns, and we've got Joe from Pleesecakes to make you the big one, we're calling it. We're calling it the big one. Because if you are listening to this on the podcast, it is huge. And if you're watching it on YouTube, just look at it, right? So, will you do the honours, please, Joe? Because you were the only one that could actually cut this and make it look
I'm
elegant.
nervous. I'm nervous about cutting this because it's so tall. It's got to be it's over a foot tall, so.
I hate to cut into this because it looks so beautiful. Go to Instagram, they'll be there for life.
Well, I'm actually going to move a few of the chocolate shards out of the way so I can get a nice clean cut on it. Cut down the front here. All right. Ready?
Yeah. Well, you've gone for a very short, you've gone for about a 2 centimetre cut. So one half is yours and one half is mine, is it?
That's it, wait. Just want to show you the layers inside of it.
Oh, that is perfect. Right, we can take two hands to take this.
Oh. Oh. Got a little
If you're
bit.
listening to this, it's all over the shop. It is all over the shop. We've cut it. You've managed to cut through 3.
That's fine, perfect.
You've managed to cut through 3.
What's wrong with that?
We can see the layers. We can see the different layers now of the Chelsea buns coming through there. So if you come down and have a little look
Have
at
a
this.
look at that.
It's absolutely wonderful.
Fantastic colours.
It's set
perfect.
perfectly
It's
well.
perfect, yeah, I'm just cleaning my hands, but yeah, that's perfect, yeah.
Right,
You've
go on
got
then,
to do the
Sophie.
honours.
You're the
Yeah,
top
yeah.
judge. Have a little bit of the top
Well,
one because
okay,
it's
I'm
got all
gonna-
the chocolate on the top and
I'm going to
everything.
go for the chocolate ganache at the top.
Yeah.
With a little bit of the bun underneath. Smells amazing. Right, here we go.
I think the giggle says it all, to be honest. I think the little giggle and the smile, if you're listening to this, the smile says everything. A picture tells 1,000 words. Not great for podcasts, but a picture tells 1,000 words, ladies and gentlemen. If you're listening to this, the biggest smile you've ever seen.
That is so creamy and delicious. All the delicate spicing, supporting it, taking something that's very rustic and traditional and really blinging it up to current day. So well done, Joe. Fantastic job.
Awesome,
Well,
thank you, come on.
you aim to please cake, my friend, don't you? You aim
That's
to
it.
please
That's
cake.
what we're here for,
It
to
is
please,
what
to
it says
please.
on the dish. Right, I'm going to have a little bit of this because I
yeah,
absolutely
yeah.
love it. Let me have a look. I've got a bit of the chocolate at the top as well. I've got a bit of the bun because that's important.
Get a bit of the shard as well, yeah.
There's a lot of work to do at home, but I tell you what, it's well worth the effort. And if you can't be bothered to make it at home, just go down the shop, go online, and just order one. You can sort it out, can you?
Yeah, pleesecakes.com.
Pleesecakes.com. He's never stopping. He's just one walking advert. It's absolutely fantastic. Well, Sophie, out of 10, what do you give that?
Oh, I give that definitely 11.
11. There we are. Sophie went to the same school as me. I can't count either, but the smile says it all. See you later. What a summer we've had here at Smeg, celebrating the wonderful food and diversity that we have around the UK. We've only done a small bit of it, but if you've enjoyed it, let us know. Go to Instagram, Smeg_UK, or Facebook, Smeg UK. We've had a blast. Hope you've enjoyed it. Maybe see you in Series 2.